Well, it's Sunday morning. Brock said he had something to show me. Guess he got a new car. Let's take a look. Huh. Well, see if anybody's home. Hey Brock, open up.
Hey Mike, what's going on?
Oh, what's up? Where's the new car?
Well,
Is that it right there?
yeah, it's a new Spider. This is actually Tiffany's, so we haven't got to introduce it. Sorry for the clutter in the garage. I have to go through all that, but this is the brand new Spider for her, which we need to get some rolling shots of her. So really cool. Comes with the pearl white with the black and black wheels and all that, but we are not here for that today. We actually have a huge reveal on the car that I'm about to show you guys, and we did a lot of research and a lot of thinking through this process before we purchased it. And the Z06 is still, unfortunately, we are waiting longer. GM has put off all the allocations for orders for what wasn't already in. I think there's only gonna be 20 cars, maybe 30 that are produced for 2023 in the calendar, or 2022 calendar year. So they are pushing that to next year. And as a Corvette Z06 on the list potential owner, I got to the point where I said enough's enough. I have to have modern power again. I miss my Z06, my C7 dearly, but I wanted to do something else, bring something cool to the channel. And the car's been out for a couple years, but it has not been out very long. So very excited to show this with you guys. The 442 sitting outside, but I wanted to give you guys a different kind of reveal than normal. So I'm going to bring the car down. It is on the lift and let you guys see it. Okay, everybody, so big reveal on the channel. I know there's been a lot of content that has come out on the C8 Corvette. Is it worth it? Did they exceed expectations? Was it what was expected? Did it go under expectations? There's been a ton of videos out there on reviews, on reveals. Probably one of the biggest stage setting from GM on a sports car for the Corvette for a long, long time. And so we went out and looked at different cars, from Lamborghini Gallardos to Audi R8s to BMW i8s to Ferrari 430s and Aston Martins and different kind of brands and cars. And I was really looking at a certain price point, but I wanted to see what is the coolest car we can buy for the money. And after looking at all those things, every car we were looking at was at least 10 years old, maybe longer. And it's one of those things where that's not a big deal because those cars will live forever. They're going to grow in value. There's a lot of collectors, young collectors that are going after these cars, and they are appreciating. So definitely all those cars are good selections, but what I also was looking for was dependability and different things from a newer car that had low miles. And McLaren's is a great selection. You can get a 650S 15 for 150, 170 grand, depending on what you get. 570s in the 150 ranges and things like that. So there's so many cool selections out there. But when I looked at the price points of those versus what the C8 Corvette offers, we actually had one at our store, and this is the 2020. So this one is actually the first model year of the C8 Corvette. And when it looked at it, had 1,650 miles when I drove it off the lot, and determined that this, for the bang for the buck, even at resale value, I feel is still the best you can buy for under $100,000. So decided that this was the right choice. And so far I have loved driving the car. No, it's not the fastest on the street. It's 495 horsepower with the Z51 package, which this car has. This is a 2LT. It has the GT2 seats. It is red interior, black exterior on black, as you guys are seeing now. But it has the cool factor. It's the first mid-engine Corvette ever made. You know, it gets 0 to 60 in 3 seconds with the Z51, which is amazing. No, we have not tested that out yet, but I've just been able to drive it around town realistically because of schedule. So I was very excited in us as Dream Garage to share this car with you. I think it's very, very impressive. I think it hits that kind of the nameplate of where we are to go. So for a Stingray car, for the first generation of mid-engine, amazing, and it only steps up for the Z06. So we are not dropping our allocation for the Z06, but we wanted to stamp in driving the C8 for a while, see how we like it, and then when the Z06 come in, we actually get to compare this car to that, understanding they're two different beasts. I mean, the Z06 is going to have 670 horsepower. It's going to have wider stance. It's going to have bigger rear tires. They're 345 rear tires. 0 to 60 is 2.6. I mean, the car is definitely going to be different, but it's going to be cool to actually park these cars next to each other and see the differences in real time. So we are excited not only about what the C8 Corvette's going to give us for the channel for now, but also what that's going to allow us to do once the Z06 comes in, and I'll be able to thoroughly enjoy this car until the Z06 comes up for my number, which I am 13th on the list. So I am thoroughly expecting about a 12 to 18 month wait because of GM pushing the car back, because of how many allocations people will get, with understanding the product issues of getting parts in, shipping issues, and getting the car out. So we are in a different time since COVID and chip issues. So as a dealership, we've learned that, and we just kind of have to roll with the punches. There's nothing we can do. So all we can do is bring content to you guys that we feel is best here. So C8 Corvette, amazing. It does have the target top, being that it's a coupe, so you can see the engine from outside the car. You can take the roof off, which we will do today, so you can see that. The front space is a little bit smaller than I expected in person, but at the same time, there's only so much space you can do with. So there is storage in the back, which we have pictures of that you might have already seen, or you're going to see that. But this interior is amazing. The red interior, they really upped their game with that. That's the only complaint I had on the C7 series, was the interior was very plain. I just felt like there was more to be desired in an interior of the C7, especially as impressive as the Z06 was, but they really did it right with the C8. The stitching, the steering wheel being more of a rectangular shape or square shape versus a typical circle, having the little red stitching, the details in this car has really stepped the game up. And if you look at a lot of reviews out there, you're going to see this car has gone up against a ton of exotic cars. A lot of them that beat the C8, but for the C8 to even be in that conversation and go against these cars just tells you how well Chevrolet did with this car. So it's very respectable. I still think it's impressive, even being 3 years old at this point. But yeah, we're going to get you some good footage today, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit the like button. It is free to subscribe. I did have that question come up. You don't have to have a YouTube channel to subscribe. All you have to do is have a Gmail account. So when you touch that subscribe button, you log in, it'll allow you to do so. It goes so far for us to continue to bring you guys great content. And we have a lot of great things coming up for you guys and want to share that. So please take 10 seconds out of your day to hit that subscribe button, like button, and that notification bell, because we have a lot of videos coming and we don't want you to miss any of the great content we're putting together for you. So let's get right into the driving of the car. So we are inside the Corvette, taking her for a spin, and as you can tell throughout the interior, there's just so much attention to detail that it's impressive. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of supercar owners or sports car owners was complaining about when it comes to GM, was that the design of the car itself was great. The outside looks of the car, especially the C6, C7, they just kept propelling the exterior, the performance, the wheels, everything forward in a positive direction, but the interior just never grabbed people. And you know, that's one of the things that, as I continued to grow in the audio industry and really starting to pay attention to different brands and different looks and how is the interior fit and is it quality and things like that, that's just something that became very important to me, and there's important to a lot of people. So when the C8 came out and the design and the restructure of the interior, obviously they're doing that with all kinds of different vehicles when they unveil the new ones. I mean, you even got Silverados and Tahoes having a lot bigger screens and a lot nicer interiors. I mean, they're doing this with everything, which I am very impressed with and thankful for, because we have a quality product inside and out. So with the Corvette, like I said, the steering wheel, it's got a little red piece of stitching at the top of it. You know, it's got the nice leather here where you change your modes of driving, and I really like the because they did talk about how they were inspired by different aircraft or spaceship kind of design to really dial in the cockpit for drivers. So for me, even though I know different views, they talk about how they don't really like the buttons going down beside you, because you have to kind of lean back to push certain buttons for air conditioning, climate controls, things like that. I'm really impressed with the look of it. I actually like it because I like buttons. We are in such a technology phase now where they are trying to go everything as a swipe or a tap, and that's great, but I like physical buttons. There's just something about knowing that, and also it's kind of a less thing to go wrong. As much technology that runs these cars anymore, it's still nice to know I can push a button and something happens. So I really like that. The display is really nice. I don't know if this is a 10 or a 12 inch. Do you know? Is it 12-inch display?
I think it's about 10.
Okay, it's 10 to 12 inches. I do finance for a living, so I don't really get to do all of the tactical things of the car, but 10 to 12 inch display screen for your RPMs, and with your different drive modes it can change, and you can obviously choose the different things you want located on there. And then the screen here with the navigation, you know, that one is all touch besides 2 buttons, so that's kind of nice. But throughout this interior, thoroughly impressed with that, the coloring, the stitching, everything about it. So I even like the new shifting of how to put it in drive, reverse, park, and neutral, or manual mode. So they're just buttons that you can pull up or push, and so that's, I even like that as well. Now honestly, there's still a decent amount, considering this is a sports car, of storage capacity inside the car, because most times you really don't have much, based on the fact that they're trying to maximize everything that they can with the small space that they have. But there are 2 cup holders here. You do have the glove box, and you've got little compartments beside you for phones or what have you, and there is a wireless charging port back here, and so you can put your phone in there as well. So there's a decent amount of room. This car rides really well. Now this one is equipped with magnetic ride, which, you know, magnetic ride's been around for a long time. GM has used that for a long time with Escalades and things like that. But this car rides, being that it's a sports car, not very big car, they ride really, really well. So they take corners phenomenally. They hit bumps well. And even though this car sits low to the ground, and this does have the lift feature, so it can raise that front end. If you go over like a big bump or something like that, it'll store up to 1,000 different locations for you, so that way it can automatically lift for you, come back down. But you know, realistically, I haven't had to do that yet, and I have a curb at my driveway, so there are the car does sit up high enough where I haven't really had to use that yet, and I'm very thankful for that, because you know, you don't want to scrape the front end of your car or have that worry when you're driving down the road. But honestly, very impressed with this car. I didn't know how impressed I would be after having a car like the C706 and the speed that it gave me with the Corsa exhaust. So this car has impressed me. I think understanding that, you know, there are cars that are faster out there. Like I said, you know, you can go out and buy a 600 horsepower, 700 horsepower car for the same kind of money. Even like a Dodge Demon Hellcat, Dodge Demon Challenger, you can find more power for the money. But there's something about the C8 Corvette, and for me, once I looked at all aspects of the buying process, what was the most value I could buy for the money, the C8 Corvette just kept coming around and saying, this is the best one for you. So, you know, if you go out there and you find a different car and that's what you want, go for it, because you only have one life to live. And you know, so part of Dream Garage is about exploring these different things and really going after our dreams, which is why we do this every day and touch lives. So the C8 Corvette has been, I feel like, a very good purchase. I feel like the price was right. I feel like the value was there, and honestly, it's just fun to drive. Okay, so we are really excited about the new Corvette to the channel. Like I said, there were so many different options when you're looking at a certain price point. We did look into a Ferrari or Aston Martin or Lamborghini, McLaren. There's so many great cars out there. And for me, I love the idea of an exotic supercar. But when it came down to it, especially since the Z06 we have not counted out, we're still going to get that car. But we wanted something more modern power to discuss, and I know there's been a lot of people that have done YouTube that have reviewed these cars, that have done drag racing with these cars or rolling racing with these cars against big competitors. And honestly, from a dependability, reliability, and still a cool factor, the Corvette really, I felt, stationed what I wanted for that. So been very happy with the car so far. The car's been in possession for about 2.5 weeks now. So I've got to spend some good time in it. We've put about 500 miles on the car. And since we've had it, I think the power's there. I think that the interior has been a huge upgrade from the C7, the mid-engine aspect, being able to see the engine. The storage is okay. The front storage is very small, but they did try to utilize as much storage as they could throughout the car. And I don't know of too many mid-engines that have a front compartment and a rear compartment for storage. So we didn't do much with the roof off, but it's a very simple process. There's tons of videos showing that. But that's why I wanted the coupe, because you can take that target top off. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video. We have a lot of cool content coming. We're doing some different challenges. We've got some cool people that we're going to be meeting on the channel here in the next several months. The Cadillac, unfortunately, we know that that car is down right now, but we are going to do a full rebuild on the motor and the transmission and get that car to where we actually can go to some events, do some challenges in that car. The audio is going to be done. So that car's got a lot of cool things coming, even though it's not there yet. So it's a process, classic cars are, and so I was really excited to be able to put a Corvette back into the garage. This is number 3 for me. So it's definitely something that I've been very excited about. So please go and subscribe to the channel. It's free. You do not have to have a YouTube channel to do so. As long as you have a Gmail account, you just sign in and you can subscribe. Like the channel, all the videos, hit that notification bell. It does go so far of a way for us. Helps us to continue to bring great content for you guys. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one. Was there anything I need to redo?
Down.